Round 3 of the series was the first of 5 events outside Europe. Kenya's Safari Rally is based in the capital city Nairobi and covers over 2,000 kilometres during the 3 days. Leg 1's 6 competitive sections were in the hills to the south of the city. First over the rocky Kenyan roads was championship leader Carlos Sainz, who had a slow start to the rally after suspension problems left him 5th. The early leader was Tommy Mäkinen, who won the event in 1996, but he also suffered early problems.
I don't understand. Last year we had exactly the same problem with the brakes on the first section, and I don't understand why it can't be the same problem again.
His teammate Richard Burns had a good start to the Safari Rally, setting the fastest time on the opening stage. Last year's winner Colin McRae needed to repeat that victory, but he was in for a shock on stage 2.
Nigel, we have a puncture, we're going to stop and change. 6 right minus over crest and 6 left tightens the minus, rock inside.
Both rear tyres had lost their tread, something which hadn't happened during testing.
We had a bit too much camber in the car and overheated the inside of the tyre and the tread starts to come off, so we had 2 punctures.
Teammate Piero Liati's day started no better when he suffered a broken shock absorber which cost him 10 minutes.
Ari would like pass, please, 200 metres behind.
100. Okay. Ma quanto manca?
Thanks from Ari.
Ford used a replacement driver, veteran Finn Ari Vatanen stepping in for Bruno Thierry.
Telephone rang, I heard Bruno Thierry's injured, and in the meantime I stand in for him, and of course for me Africa's like my second home, so every second here, has been a pure pleasure.
Team leader Juha Kankinen made a steady start in 6th place, 1 behind Vatanen. Didier Auriol had to work hard to finish the day in 7th after this breakdown cost him 5 minutes.
Di là passiamo. Didier stopped in the drift.
Oil can jump behind on the connection of the battery, and the car stopped.
His problems weren't over though. A lack of concentration on the final stage of the day cost another 40 seconds. Carlos Sainz was in 4th place, struggling with stiff power steering for much of the day. After his earlier problems, Colin McRae was now 3rd, thanks to a string of fastest times over the last 4 sections.
100. Straight crest. Into 6 left, 100. Crest and K right and 3 left over jump.
Richard Burns had a terrific day, finishing in 2nd place over a minute ahead of McRae. But it was Tommy Mäkinen and co-driver Risto Mäkinen who led at the end of the first leg with a 36-second advantage over their teammates and nearly 2 minutes on McRae.
Are you happy to be leading tonight?
It's all right, it's all right. It could be easily 2 minutes more, but we are where we are.
Day 2's 5 sections took the cars to the north of Nairobi and down into the searing heat of the Great Rift Valley. Overnight leader Tommy Mäkinen set the early pace, posting the fastest times on the first 2 sections of the day and suffering no dramas. Not so fortunate was championship leader Carlos Sainz, who was the first casualty of the day when on the first section he made a rare error.
Well, we obviously have quite a big roll, fast. It was quite dusty at the beginning of the stage and missed one left bend in 5th gear. So.
Richard Burns was another to run into problems early on leg 2. A slipping clutch delayed the Englishman throughout the day, frustrating his attempts to hold off McRae, who was now up to 2nd place. But there were problems ahead for the Scotsman, and he had to nurse the Subaru back to the service area.
Colin, they need to know the water temperature isn't a problem until it gets to 125 or 130, over.
It is a problem, it's at 140.
One look underneath the car confirmed it was going no further.
The long faces say it all. Is it over? Yep. Finished. Another one.
Colin's 2nd retirement in a row was a bitter blow for the Subaru team, but worse was to follow. Liati set the fastest time on stage 9, but on 10 he suffered a terminal problem.
Destra 850. Si sta spegnendo?
Sta spegnendo, sì.
Engine failure also ended his rally.
I think it's broken the engine.
then it's not possible to finish the stage.
Juha Kankkunen finished leg 2 in 4th place after broken suspension and another puncture rounded off a frustrating day. Kankkunen's problems and McRae's retirement meant that Didier Auriol was now up to 3rd in the Toyota, while one of the surprises of the rally was Ari Vatanen. Taking his Ford to 2nd demonstrated that experience still counts on the Safari. His first attempt at the rally was 21 years ago. There were, though, mixed emotions in the Mitsubishi camp. On the final stage of the day, with a clear lead, Mäkkinen's engine gave up.
Se oli siinä. Sammu moottori.
About 10 kilometers from the start, just the engine stopped, and I think its cam belt broke, and that's it.
Tommy's retirement meant that teammate Richard Burns, driving the Charisma, was now leading the Safari rally at the end of leg 2.
I don't know what times the Fords have done in the last section, but they were about 6 minutes behind. That was good enough for Colin last year to stay in front of me on the last day, so I can only hope we have no problems.
The third leg was virtually identical to the first. 4 bush sections with a final visit to Ngong racecourse to finish off. Richard Burns set off into the Kenyan dawn, starting his day well by posting the fastest time on the first section. Stage 13, the day's longest, and championship contender Carlos Sainz had problems when the rear of his car hit a rock.
Well, we have a broken rear shock absorber. You know, then we lost the suspension, then we lost all the brake discs. We have to take the tire out to try to continue in 3 wheels, but everything is destroyed now.
Sainz's retirement meant the Volkswagen Golf of Raimund Baumschlager would finish 6th overall and 2nd in Formula 2 to the Seat of Harry Rovanperä, which finished 5th. Didier Auriol and Denis Giraudet suffered from punctures on stage 13, and after changing one, another was to slow them further, costing a podium finish. The pair eventually finished 4th. As widely predicted, Ford issued team orders, and Ari Vatanen incurred a 6-minute road penalty to drop from 2nd to 3rd. That allowed team leaders Juha Kankkunen and Juha Repo to finish 2nd and claim another 2 points.
Since the moment telephone rang and Malcolm asked, Ari, can you do Safari? Till this moment, till tonight, I mean, it couldn't have been better. This is a dream.
Despite an oil pressure scare, Richard Burns then held on to win, even setting the fastest time on the final section, taking a long overdue first victory on a round of the World Rally Championship, to his delight.
Well done. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Good. Well done, thank you, man. Not just all day today was horrible. I've been driving really carefully, but it doesn't matter now. It's a great feeling. It's absolutely fantastic feeling.
The relief on Richard's face was clear. This was a moment he'll always remember. Nearly 9.5 minutes the winning margin, with Kankkunen scoring his 3rd podium finish in as many events and 2 Formula 2 cars in the top 6. After 3 rounds, Sainz and Kankkunen shared the lead in the Drivers' Series, while Burns was 3rd ahead of Mäkinen. Mitsubishi now had a 1-point lead over Ford in the Manufacturers' Championship.